Hello dear students, I welcome you all to the online session of chapter on coordinate geometry. So that means for the first time we are going to see class 11 coordinate geometry. Okay, so let us first have a little brush up of whatever we have learned in our junior or earlier classes of coordinate geometry. Okay, let us see the things which we have already learned about coordinate geometry. So the first thing that we learned is something called distance formula, which you have learned in your class 9. Okay, so the distance formula is given by this particular formula where P1, P2, okay, so the coordinate of P1 is given as x1, y1 and the coordinate of P2 is given as x2, y2. So this is your distance formula. The next thing that we learned is something called area of a triangle. Okay, so if the vertices of the triangle is given by x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3, then this particular formula gives you the area of triangle. Okay, so this formula can also be represented in this manner. Okay, so this is called determinant, which you have not learned yet. Okay, so far we have not seen this, so that's why we will make use of this later when we learn how to evaluate this. So by then we will be using this as area of a triangle formula. Okay, so next is collinearity of 3 points. Okay, so the collinearity of 3 points means if the 3 points lie in the same straight line, then those 3 points are known as collinear points. Okay, so suppose if there are the points this one and this one, that is x1, y1, x2, y2 and x3, y3. So if these three lie in a same straight line, then what happens? The area of triangle becomes 0. Okay, so if this quantity becomes 0, okay, if this quantity becomes 0, then we say that the 3 points are collinear. Okay, or in other words, I can say that this becomes 0. Okay, so this is the condition for 3 points to be collinear, that is the area of triangle has to be equals to 0. All right. Okay, so the next thing that we learned is section formula. Okay, so in this section formula, okay, I am going to show you two different kind of section formula. In your earlier session of coordinate geometry, that is in your class 10, you have learnt about only one kind of section formula, and that section formula is known as internal section formula. Okay, so let us try to understand what is the meaning of this. So there's a line segment AB, the end points are x1, y1 and x2, y2. Okay, so there's a point C, okay, in between A and B, so that C divides AB in the ratio m:n. So if you are not able to understand, so let us see through the diagram. So there's a line segment AB, right? So there's a point C in between A and B. Now this C is dividing this AB in the ratio m:n, right? So since this point, dividing point, is lying in between A and B, that's why this is called internal. Okay, so the coordinate of C is given by this x will be equals to mx2, okay, mx2 plus nx1 whole divided by m plus n. So this gives you the x. Okay, so we call x as abscissa, remember. Okay, so abscissa is given by this quantity, and the ordinate, that is the value of y, will be given by this particular formula. Okay, so this is all about your internal case. Now this you have learned in your earlier session of coordinate geometry. Now this time we'll get introduced to one more new section formula, and we call it external section formula. Okay, so now what is the meaning of external? Let us try to understand using the diagram. Okay, so there's again line segment AB. So till here only is my line segment. Now when you extend the very same line till C, okay, so this C, the dividing point C, is lying outside the line segment, right? So as we compare this external with internal, we must have AC to be M, right? So this time also we are going to have this AC to be M. Okay, and similarly we know that BC is N, so that's why this BC is also going to be my N. Okay, so if such thing happens, then the coordinate of C is given by this particular formula. Now the formula is going to be same, but wherever you have got plus, there you are going to write minus. That's the only difference. All right, so there's no difficulty in memorizing the formula out here. All right, so you may pause the video to note down the formula as well. Okay, so the next thing that you learned in your junior coordinate geometry is midpoint formula, and I need not explain you the midpoint formula, so this gives you midpoint formula. Okay, and the next thing that you learned is something called centroid of a triangle, and this gives you the formula for calculating the centroid of a triangle. Okay, so having understood the basics of whatever we have done, so let us begin with the first question for the day. Okay, so actually the first exercise, that is exercise 11.1 from your volume 2, is a revision part. Okay, so let me take few problems from that particular exercise. Okay, and from next exercise onwards we will see most of the questions being covered by myself. Okay, so in this particular exercise, as I said, this is a revision part, so I am going to take just few questions from this. Okay, so this is going to be my first class on coordinate geometry. Okay, so let me read the first question. You can have a look at your book, or else you can see your question in your screen as well. So it is given, question number 2, I am taking sub number 2. How many points are there on the x-axis whose distance from the point 2, 3 is less than 3 units? I hope the question is clear to you. If you are not clear with the question, now let me quickly draw the diagram and show what is the meaning of this. Okay, so we have coordinate axis. Okay, so this is my x-axis, this is my origin, and this is my y-axis. Okay, now there is a point 2, 3 on this rectangular coordinate system, and 2, 3 might be somewhere over here. So this is my rough diagram. All right, this is not my correct diagram, so this is my 2, 3. All right, so from x-axis, okay, so I don't know at which point on the x-axis I have to find one point. All right, so I don't know, see, from here to here is 2, all right, and from here to here is 3. That's why the coordinate of this is 2, 3, right? So this 2 is from here to here, and from here to here is 3, right? So that's why this is 2, 3. Now exactly on the x-axis you have to find how many points are there. All right, I don't know where the point lies, but let me take that point somewhere over here. Okay, now what point is this? I don't know. Okay, but one thing that I know is the distance between this point and this marked point has to be less than 3. Okay, so that's what the question is asking, how many points are there. Okay, and we know that any point, okay, any point in the x-axis, see, in the x-axis, since it is not moving towards y direction, right? So we move vertically in y direction, right? But we are not moving vertically, we are just moving horizontally. So that's why the distance along y, or I can say the ordinate, right? So the first coordinate is known as abscissa and the next is known as ordinate. So since it is not moving towards y, that's why the ordinate will be 0 for this. Okay, so let me write the ordinate to be 0. Okay, and since it is lying exactly on the x-axis, now I don't know at which distance it is lying, so let me take the abscissa to be x. Okay, so basically what is happening, the distance between x, 0 and 2, 3 must be less than or equal to 3. So that's what the question says, yes or no? Okay, so let the point, so let me write, let the point on the x-axis be, okay, so let me give it a name p. Okay, p x, 0. Okay, the given point is, the given point is, okay, so what is the given point? It is 2, 3, right? Okay, now again let me give it a name, so let me call this as a. Is that clear? Now according to question, the distance between p and a, right? So this is my p and this is my a. So in other words, distance between p and a is pa, right? So pa must be less than 3 according to the question. Okay, so according to question we must have pa must be less than 3. All right, now let us use distance formula out here. Now we have got p, we have got a, right? So this is my x1 y1, so call this as x1 y1, and let me call this as x2, y2. Alright, now what will be the distance formula? So according to distance formula, we must have square root of what? x2 minus x1. So x2 is 2. So we have 2 minus x1. x1 is x, right? So x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1. So 3, y2 is 3. So 3 minus 0. So 3 minus 0 square must be less than 3. Okay, and we need to find the value of x out here, right? Because the only unknown I can see from here is what? Only unknown from this is x, right? Okay, so in order to find x, let us square both sides, because there is a square root sign here, right? So if I square both sides, what do I get? Let us see. Okay, so we have 2 minus x whole square plus 3 minus 0 is what? 3. So 3 square is how much? It is 9. So 9 is less than, again squaring both sides, right? So this becomes 3 square. And how much is 3 square? 3 square is 9, right? So I can see that this and this gets cancelled out here, isn't it? So if this 2 gets cancelled, so what is left? So we have 2 minus x whole square is less than 0, right? Nothing is left, so that's why 0. Now, if you see here carefully, this is a perfect square, isn't it? Right? Okay, so can square of any number be less than 0? Less than 0 means what? It should be negative, right? Less than 0 means negative. Now, can the square of any number be negative? No, right? We don't have any number whose square is going to be negative. For example, if you take 3, 3 square is 9, it is not negative. If you take minus 3, so minus 3 whole square is how much? It is again 9. Yes? Okay, so that's why I can say the square of any number will never be negative, right? So that's why this is not possible, right? So this is not possible means what? So that means there is no point on the x-axis whose distance from the given point, that is 2, 3, is going to be less than 3. All right? Okay, so therefore there lies no point on the x-axis Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, now let's have a look at the second sub number 2 of question number 4. So the center, question says, the center of a circle is, okay, so it is given to you, it's given in your screen as well. So it passes through the point -3, -1. So find the value of alpha if a diameter, okay, if the diameter of the circle is of length 20 units. Let us quickly understand the sum here. Okay, so there is a circle. Okay, so there is a circle. So this will be my diameter, and the length of the diameter is given to be 20. All right. Okay, so what do we have is, here we have center of the circle is 2 alpha minus 1, 3 alpha plus 1. So this center, the coordinate is given to be 2 alpha minus 1 plus 3 alpha plus 1. Okay, so this is my center, and we have a point, okay, a point exactly on the circumference, and the point given here is -3, -1. So let me take this point to be -3, -1. Okay, so here we need to find the value of alpha. How to do this? Let us see. Now, if I join this center and this point, what does this give me? This gives me the radius, isn't it? This dotted line gives me the radius, and we already know the diameter. Diameter is 20. So if diameter is 20, then what is the length of my radius? Then my radius becomes exactly half of 20, that is 10 units. All right. So with this basics, let us begin. Okay, so we are given with the diameter, that is 20, with radius 10. Okay, so center, let me call the center to be O. Okay, so my center is O, and the point on the circle is represented as P, right? So basically OP. Okay, so center is O and the point is P. So this OP is what? My radius, right? So we have we have OP, that is the radius, right? So OP is the radius, and radius is how much? Radius is 10 units, isn't it? Now let us quickly make use of distance formula here. So we have this as, you can call this to be x1 y1. So you can call this to be x1 y1. You can call this to be x2 y2. Okay. So we have, according to distance formula, so we have, or if you want to square here as well, that's also fine. All right. So let me square here first. So if I square, I did not write whole square root. Okay, so OP square will be 100. So when you apply distance formula OP, then you need not write square root sign because you have already squared here. All right, so we have x2 minus x1. So what is x2? x2 is 2 alpha minus 1. So we have 2 alpha minus 1. Yes, x2 minus x1. All right, so this is my x2 minus x1. x1 is how much? It is minus 3. All right, so x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1, right? So y2 is what? y2 is this whole thing. So 3 alpha plus 1 whole square. y2 minus y1. y1 is minus 1 out here. So whole square. Is that clear? x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Square root sign is vanished because we have put square out here. So this will be equals to how much? This will be equals to 100. All right. So let us quickly simplify this. Okay. So we have, if you see here, this is a plus b whole square, right? So a plus b whole square is how much? A plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. And similarly, we have here also we have got a plus b whole square, right? So a square plus 2ab plus b square, and this will be equals to 100. All right. Okay. So let us see what is my, let us see the expansion of this. So this is my a. So we have a. So a square plus 2a. So a is again 2 alpha. Now b is 2. So 2ab is done plus b square, that is 2 square. All right. Similarly, we have here a, that is 3 alpha plus 2a. a is 3 alpha, b is 2 plus b square. All right. Okay. So we have done this. Now let us quickly simplify this over there. So we have, okay, so 2 square is 4, alpha square is alpha square, plus 2 into 2 into 2 is 8. So plus 8 alpha plus, we have 2 square, that is 4, right? So plus again we have 3 alpha square, right? So 3 alpha whole square is 9 alpha square plus we have 2 into 3 6, 6 into 2 is 12, 12 alpha plus 2 square, 2 square is again 4. So plus 4 is equals to 100. All right, so let us quickly simplify this further. So we have, okay, so we see that 9 plus 4 is 13 alpha square plus 12 plus this is 20 alpha plus, okay, so get this out here. So we get minus 6, right? Minus, sorry, this is minus 100, and 4 plus 4 is 8. So 8 minus 100 is how much? It is minus 92 equals to 0. So what kind of equation is this? This is quadratic equation, right? So quickly solve this quadratic equation and find the value of alpha from here. Okay. Okay. So after factorization, this quadratic equation becomes this much using middle term break. Okay. So this means, see here. So the product of two numbers is 0. So we never have the product of two numbers to be 0. If any one of them is 0, then only my product is 0. So that's why I can see either this has to be 0, that is 13 alpha plus 46 has to be 0, or if this is not 0, then this definitely have to be 0 in order to have the product to be 0. So we have or alpha minus 2 equals to 0. Okay, so from here calculate the value of alpha. So this will turn into, this will go over there, becomes minus 46, and this 13 will go to the denominator. All right, and from here what will be the value of alpha? The value of alpha turns out to be 2, isn't it? So the values for alpha, okay, so therefore alpha will be equals to, there are two values as we can see, so one value is minus 46 by 13 and the other value is 2. All right, so this will be my answer for this particular question. So you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let us see the 7th question. So in the 7th question, the first question says the three vertices of a parallelogram taken in order are minus 1, 1, 3, 1 and 2, 2. Okay, so let me quickly draw the parallelogram here. So there's a parallelogram. So three vertices taken in order. All right, so three vertices taken in order are given to be minus 1, 1, 3, 1 and 2, 2. All right, so you need to find the fourth vertex. That is, you need to find what is the coordinate of this. All right, so I am not going to explain this in detail because this is very simple and you have already seen in your junior classes. So I don't know what is the coordinate of this. We need to find this. So basically what we are going to do here is we will see the diagonals, and we know that the diagonals bisect each other, isn't it? That means, okay, so if this is my point of intersection of diagonals, then the length of this and length of this, they will be equal. So in other words, so I can see that this is the midpoint of this and this. Yes, okay, and the same thing will be again the midpoint of this and this. Okay, so let me call this as A, B, C and D. Let me call the point of intersection to be O. Okay, so let me quickly see what is given here. Okay, so as I said earlier, so the points are A, B, C and C, right? So these three are given, and let D be the point, that is the fourth point, and O is the point of intersection of diagonals. Okay, so as I said, O is the midpoint of what? Midpoint of A and C, right? So A and C. So therefore the coordinate of O is, so using midpoint formula, so we have x1 plus x2, that is minus 1 plus 2 by 2 comma y1 plus y2, that is 1 plus 2, right? So 1 plus 2 by 2, and how much is this? That is, this is 2 minus 1 is 1, so that is half, right? And what is this? This is 3 by 2. So this gives me the coordinate of O. Okay, so the coordinate of O is half comma 3 by 2. Okay, now I don't know what is the coordinate of this. Let me call this to be alpha, beta. All right, so you can write here alpha comma beta as well. Okay, so therefore see here, O is also the midpoint of what? Of B and D. Yes, so B and D, isn't it? Now I can say that this will be equals to alpha plus 3 divided by 2. Yes, and similarly this 3 by 2 will be equals to y1 plus y2, that is beta plus 1 divided by 2. Okay, so therefore we have, as I said, this half will be equals to how much? X1 plus x2 by 2. X1 is alpha, x2 is 3. So we have x1 plus x2 by 2 is equals to how much? This is equals to half. Yes, and this, the 3 by 2 will be how much? This is y1 plus y2. So y1 is beta for me. Beta plus y2 is 1 by 2. Is that clear? Okay, so let us quickly simplify this and find the value of alpha and beta. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled. So we have alpha equals to, so you can directly calculate from here. So this turns out to be minus 2. Okay, and from here beta turns out to be equals to how much? So beta turns out to be 2 from here. Okay, so therefore the fourth vertex is alpha comma beta. The alpha is minus 2 and beta is 2. So this will be my answer for this particular question. Pause the video to note down. Okay, let's have a look at the ninth question. So question says minus 3 comma a is the image of 1 comma a plus 4 in the point b comma 1. Okay, so you need to find the value of a and b. Now what is the meaning of this? Let us try to understand here. So basically what is given? There are 3 points given to us. Okay, so suppose if you reflect this, okay, so if you reflect this along point this, okay, so basically this point is like your mirror. Okay, so when you reflect this point along this, you will get another point as the image, right? Okay, and that image will be exactly in the same distance. How much ever is this distance, same distance will be covered by the image as well. All right, so if this is my image, okay, suppose if this is my p, okay, if this is my mirror m, and if this is my image p dash, then basically pm and p dash m, both of them will have the same distance. Or else what we can say from here is m will be the midpoint of p and p dash, isn't it? Okay, so the same thing is happening out here. So question says minus 3 comma a is the image. Okay, so this is the image, so that means minus 3 comma a lies out here. Okay, image of what? Image of 1 comma a plus 4. So 1 comma a plus 4 should lie here. Okay, and through which point? Through b comma 1. So this point is b comma 1 out here. Alright, so in other words I can say that b comma 1 is the midpoint of this and this, right? So this means, or this implies that b comma 1 is the midpoint of what? 1 comma a plus 4 and minus 3 comma a, right? So that's why, see, this is my x1 y1, this is my x2 y2, right? So that's why this will be equals to, this b will be equals to, this abscissa will be equals to x1 plus x2 whole divided by 2, right? So therefore we have abscissa, that is b equals to x1, that is 1 plus x2, that is minus 3 by 2, yes? And this ordinate, this 1 will be equals to y1, that is a plus 4 plus y2. y2 is how much again? y2 is a by 2, isn't it? So quickly calculate. So we have, this is minus 2 by 2, so this is minus 1, yes? And from here we have, okay, so this is 2, so from here we have a plus a is 2a plus 4, so from here we get that 2a is minus 2, so therefore from here a is again minus 1, isn't it? So therefore we have a is equals to minus 1, b is equals to minus 1. So these two gives me my answer for this particular question. Pause the video to note down. Okay, so next question is the sub number 1 of question number 10. So according to this question, these 3 points are collinear. Okay, so we need to find the value of k out here. Okay, and we know that 3 points will be collinear if the area of the triangle formed by these 3 coordinates will be equals to 0, right? So how to find area of a triangle? So you already have the formula, right? Now if you don't remember the formula, then it's very easy to remember the formula. Let's have a look at the formula again. Okay, so we have, take 3 points. Okay, so let me call this as x1 y1, let me call this to be x2 y2, and let me call this to be x3 y3. Okay, so there's a formula so which says okay, so since these 3 points are collinear, so therefore we can say that area of triangle formed will be 0, right? Now area of the triangle is given by half into something is there, right? So if you don't know the formula, then it's easy to remember. So first you write x1, all right, then you write y2 minus y3, all right? So let me write the formula for you so that it becomes easy for you to remember. So write x1 into y2 minus y3, right? Plus sign. Okay, now go to x2. Okay, so basically you have to follow this direction. Alright, so you have to follow this direction out here. So you write x2. Now here you have to go to y3 minus y1. Okay, so y3 minus y1 plus, at last you have x3, right? So x3 will be equals to y1 minus y2. So x3 into y1 minus y2. So this is the area formula. Okay, so this gives you area of a triangle will be equals to how much? It has to be equals to 0. Now let us quickly put the values out here. So we have x1 y1 x2 y2 x3 y3. Okay, so what is x1? x1 is 8. So we have, you can take this half over there, take this 2 there, you get 0, right? So 2 into 0 is 0. So this term we need not write. So we have x1 to be 8, right? y2 minus y1. So what is y2? y2 is, I'm sorry, y2 minus y3. So y2 is minus 4 minus y3. y3 is minus 5, right? So again write minus 5, or you can direct, okay, fine. So let me write minus 5 out here. Okay, plus x2. What is x2? x2 is k, right? Now what is y3? y3 is minus 5 minus y1. y1 is 1 plus x3. x3 is 2. y1 is 1 minus y2. y2 is minus 4 out here. Alright, equals to 0. Now let us quickly solve this and find. So we have 8. Okay, so this is minus into minus plus. Plus 5 minus 4 is 1, right? So 8 into 1 is 8. Alright, so we have, this is minus 5 into minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6. So minus 6 into k becomes minus 6k. Alright, so similarly we have minus into minus is plus. So plus 4 into 1 is, I'm sorry, plus 4 plus 1 is 5. 5 into 2 is 10. Sign is plus, equals to 0, right? Okay, so from here we have, okay, so you take this k out there. So we have 10 plus it is 18 equals to 6k, right? So from here k will be equals to 18 by 6, right? Do the cancellation with how much? With 6 itself, right? 6 3s are 18. So 6 1s are 6, 6 3s are 18. So therefore your value for k will be equals to 3. Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let's move on to the 12th problem. So question says, find the coordinates of the point which is at a distance of 2 units from 5, 4 and 10 units from 11, minus 2. What's the meaning of this? Let's try to understand. So there are 2 points given to you. One is 5, 4. Okay, so let me call this to 5, 4. And there is another point whose coordinates is 11, minus 2. So let me call this to be 11, minus 2. Okay, now you have to find the coordinate. Okay, so there is one coordinate which you need to find by yourself. So let me call that point to be x, y, or you can write alpha, beta, whatever you want to write. Okay, so that the distance of this point which you need to find from 5, 4 is given to be 2 units. So that means this has to be 2 units. Okay, and the distance between 11, minus 2 and that point has to be exactly 10 units. Alright, is the question clear to you? So if the question is clear to you, let's begin with the sum. Okay, so this is my 12th problem. So the given points are and according to question, what we must have is the distance between this. Okay, so this is my A and this is my B. That is AP has to be what? AP has to be equals to 2, right? So according to question we have AP must be equals to 2, right? So as I said earlier, so you can directly write this as AP square. Okay, so AP square becomes 4. I hope you are clear with this. Why am I putting square? This is in order to get rid of square root sign. Okay, so EP is what? x2 minus x1 whole square, right? So you can call this as x1 y1, you can call this as x2 y2. So you have x2 minus x1, that is x minus 5 whole square plus y2 minus y1. So y2 is y minus y1 is 4, right? So y2 minus y1 whole square equals to Okay, so this is equals to 4. Now again we have a minus b whole square, a minus b whole square. So let us put the formula for a minus b whole square here and simplify it further. So we have, okay, so when you simplify this, you will get this, okay, and from here I am finding the value of x square plus y square, okay. Why you will understand later, okay. So the value of x square plus y square, if you keep x square and y square here, take everything to the right hand side, then you will get this after simplification, okay. So let me call this to be equation 1, okay. So according to question, this is my first condition, that is AP has to be 2. Now another condition is what? Another condition is we must have this distance, that is P or PB, right? So this has to be equals to 10, right? Also we must have what? As I said, BP must be equals to 10, or in other words BP square will be equals to 100, okay. So again x1 y1 x2 y2, so again consider that and apply the same rule out here. So we have x minus 11 whole square plus y plus, this time it has to be plus, okay. So minus of minus 2 becomes plus, right? So plus 2 whole square is equals to 100, okay. Simplify this in the same manner. Okay, so after simplification you will arrive at this, okay. So find x square plus y square from here as well, and this you will get this to be equal to this much, and let me call this to be equation 2. Now if you see here carefully, from equation 1 also you are getting x square and y square, and from equation 2 also you are finding x square plus y square, isn't it? So that means both has to be same, right? Both are x square plus y square, okay. So from 1 and 2, so from 1 and 2 what we can say is this, that is 10x plus 8y minus 37 will be equals to this quantity, that is 22x minus 4y plus, I'm sorry, minus 25, right? So these two becomes equal, okay. So let me calculate what is the value of y in terms of x. That means I'll get all the y's here and I'll take the remaining things out there, okay. So let me get this out here. So this becomes 8y plus 4y equals 2. So all this will go that side. So we have 22x, this goes over there becomes minus 10x. We have minus 25 out here, this goes over there becomes plus 37, okay. So we have from here, this is 12y, yes. So 12y is equals to, this minus this again 12x, okay. So from here we get plus, so 37 minus 25 becomes again 12, right? So divide both sides by 12, so you'll get y equals to x plus 1, isn't it? So you call this to be equation 3. Alright, now the next thing that we are going to do here is we will put the value of y in any of equation 1 or 2, it's your choice. Alright, so put the value of y and see what do we get, okay. For example, let us put the value of y in equation 1, okay. So using 3 in 1, okay. So in 1 we have x square plus y square, so x square plus y square. So instead of y I am writing x plus 1, so x plus 1 whole square is equals to, x square plus y square is equals to how much? 10x plus 8y. So 10x plus 8y, y is how much? It is x plus 1, right? Okay, and the last one is minus 37. Okay, so from here you will arrive at the quadratic equation, okay. So I am not going to show that part, but you have to show in your step, okay. Okay, so you arrive at this quadratic equation, and if you want to divide both sides by 2, that also can be done. So when you divide both sides by 2, then the very same quadratic equation becomes, okay, so the very same quadratic equation becomes x square minus 8x plus 15 equals to 0. Alright, so from here you will solve and find the value of x. Okay, so the value of x that you solve, you get after solving this is 5 and 3. Okay, so please mark this. So we have got to find again the value of y as well. Okay, because you are finding the coordinate x comma y, right? So you found the value of x. Okay, so one of the values is 5 and another value is 3. So if x is 5, then let us see what is the value of y using equation 3. Okay, so you may pause the video to note down this part, as I don't have the place. Okay, so just pause the video to note down. Okay, so when x is 5, okay, so when x is 5, then from equation 3, okay, so equation 3 says y equals to x plus 1, so y is equals to x is 5 plus 1, that is equals to 6. Okay, so one of the coordinate is 5 comma 6, that is x comma y. Okay, similarly when x is equals to 3, then again from equation 3 we have y equals to x is how much? 3, right? So 3 plus 1, which is equals to 4. So another coordinate here is 3 comma 4. All right, so therefore all right, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, let's have a look at the next question, that is 14th, the first problem. So in this question says, in what ratio is the line joining the points 3 comma 4 and minus 2 comma 1 divided by the y-axis? Okay, so let me first draw the coordinate axis. So this is my x-axis and this is my y-axis. Okay, so there are 2 points. One point is given to be 3 comma 4. So 3 comma 4 means it will be lying in the first quadrant. So let me call this to be 3 comma 4. Okay, so the another point given here is minus 2 comma 1. So minus 2 comma 1 may be somewhere over here. Okay, so minus 2 comma 1. Okay, so join these two. So if when you join, what is happening? The line segment joining these 2 points is intersected by y-axis, right? So the line gets intersected at this point, right? Now according to question, we need to find at, okay, so according to question, we need to find in what ratio does this point divide this line segment. Okay, that means if this is my m and this is my n, then we need to find m is to n. All right, so basically here we need to use something called section formula, right? Okay, so we will use section formula out here, and later on you need to find the coordinate of the point of division as well. So that means you need to find what is the coordinate of this as well. Okay, now again, since exactly this point is exactly on the y-axis, here it is not moving towards x, right? It is exactly on the y. Okay, so that's why always the abscissa here in the y-axis will be equal to 0. It is not moving towards x, so that's why abscissa will be equals to 0. So let me take the abscissa to be 0 and let me call the ordinate to be y. Okay, so the given points are now if you compare this diagram with your section formula, so wherever you have m, whichever side you have m, that becomes your x1 y1 and the other side becomes x2 y2. Okay, so this will be equals to what? mx2 plus nx1 whole divided by m plus n, isn't it? So that's why therefore we have 0 equals to mx2. So mx2, what is x2 out there? x2 is 3, right? Plus n x1, and what is x1? x1 is minus 2. All right, divided by m plus n. Okay, and similarly you will write that another part later, that is y equals to my2 plus ny1 divided by m plus n, that you will write later. Okay, so first let us find the ratio from here itself. Okay, so when you do cross multiplication, we have this into 0 remains that much itself, right? So we have, okay, so first let us write this. So this is 3m minus 2n equals to, this into 0 is 0. Take this out there. So we have 3m equals to 2n. So we need to find m is to n. What is m is to n? M is to n is m by n, right? So you take this n down there. So you have m by n equals to 2 by this 3 goes over there, Yes. So therefore from here what do we see? We see that m is to n is how much? It is 2:3. Alright. So this is the required ratio. So this is my first answer. Okay. Now the second part says we need to find the point of intersection, that is the coordinate of this. So we need not find the value of 0, right? We need to find the value of y, and we know that this y will be equals to what? My2 plus ny1. Okay, so therefore y is equals to my2 plus ny1 by m plus n. Let us put the values out here. So we have m is 2, right? Isn't it? So m is 2 and n is 3. So we have from here m is 2 and y2 is how much? 4, right? Plus n is how much? 3 into y1 is 1 by m plus n, that is 2 plus 3. Okay, so quickly simplify this. 2 plus 2 into 4 is 8, 8 plus 3 is 11 by 5, right? So the value of y turns out to be 11 by 5. Okay, so the point of intersection is 0, 11 by 5. So therefore the coordinate or the required coordinate is 0, 11 by 5. Alright, so you may pause the video to note down. Okay, now let me take the last question from this particular exercise, that is question number 20. So question says the coordinates of A, B and C are given. Okay, so let me quickly write what is given to us. Okay, so these are the coordinates given to you, and again one more point is given, that is point P. Okay, also P is x comma y. Okay, so this is also given to us. Now we need to show that the ratio of triangle PBC. Okay, so we need to find the ratio of triangle PBC and another triangle is triangle ABC. So this ratio will be equals to, we need to show that it is x plus y minus 2 whole divided by 7. Okay, so let's see how to do this. So first let us observe triangle PBC. Let us find the area of triangle PBC. Okay, so therefore we have, okay, so we have, so area of triangle PBC. So AR means area. Alright, so area of triangle PBC will be equals to half into, now we already know the formula says follow that rule, right? So you have to go clockwise direction. So we have C, P, B and C. Alright, so P, B and C, we will take only these three. Okay, so you can call this to be x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. Okay, so x1, first we need to write x1, that is minus 3 into x1 into y2 minus y3, that is y2 is minus 2 minus y3 is y. Okay, plus now go to x2, right? So x2 is 4, isn't it? x2 into y3 minus y1, so y3 minus y1 is 5. Alright, so please make sure that we are making use of only P, B and C. We are not using A in triangle PBC. Okay, so at last we need to write plus x3, right? So x3 is what? x3 is x3 into what? If you go clockwise direction, it comes y1 minus y2. So what is y1? y1 is 5 minus y2. y2 is how much? Minus 2. Alright, so we have this to be the area of triangle PBC. Okay, so let us quickly simplify this. We have half into, okay, so this is minus. Okay, so this is, again, when you multiply these two, you will get 6 plus 3y. Alright, so you will be able to do Now, so again this will be 4y minus 20. So similarly we have 5x, I'm sorry, first simplify this. So you have 7x, right? 7x. Okay, so I can simplify this further. So you have 7x plus 3y. Okay, so again you can join this too. So 3y plus 4y is 7y. So 7x plus 7y, right? So we have half into 7x plus 7y. Okay, so this becomes minus 14. Alright, so this will be my area of triangle PBC. Now similarly, let us find area of triangle ABC here. Okay, so let us find. Okay, so please remember this sign means absolute value. Okay, so we call it modulus as well. So the meaning of modulus means we are not interested with the sign. Okay, we are just interested with the value. Okay, suppose if this turns out to be negative, this modulus make it positive. And why it has to be positive? Because this is the ratio of area, right? And area can never be negative. So that's why it has to be positive. That's the only meaning of this modulus sign. All right. Okay. So let me remove this part. Okay. So area of triangle ABC. So this will be equals to half into. Okay. So this is my x1, y1, x2, y2, x3, y3. So x1 is 6 here, right? So we have x1 is 6, 5 minus of minus 2 becomes plus 2, right? Plus y2. So x2 into what? y3, that is minus 5 minus 3, right? So, oh sorry, minus 2 minus 3. Minus 3 plus x3 is 4. So 4 into y1 minus y2, right? So we have 3 minus 5. Okay, so we have from here, so just simplify this quickly. So we have half into 42 minus becomes 515, right? Okay, so similarly we have minus 2 minus 8. Okay, simplify this, half of. Okay, so we have 42 plus 15 is so basically this is 49 by 2, right? So we found it, the area of triangle ABC as well. So therefore we need to find the ratio. So we have area of triangle PBC by area of triangle ABC, right? Okay, so what is the area? So here we see that half of, okay, so you can take out 7 common. Okay, so you can write here as well. So we have half 7, or you can write this as 7 by 2. So inside this we have x plus y minus 2. Okay, so we have 7 by 2 into x plus y minus 2 by 49 by 2. So 2 and 2 gets cancelled, 7 1 is 7, 7 7s are 49. So we have from here how much? We have x plus y minus 2 by 7. So that's what we need to show, right? That is the ratio of their areas will be this much itself, right? So you can put the modulus as well if you want to put here. All right, so with this we close the first exercise, that 11.1, and I want you to try the remaining sums by yourself. Okay, so this will be the basics for the coordinate geometry that we are going to learn in the upcoming few sessions. All right, so with this we close for the day. Thank you very much.